Hello everybody, welcome to Snyder's Inc. and today we got no video. I was about to say something and like two other things, that just came out weird. We got a new video, and this is the most disturbing moments of summer 2023. When we go get on into this, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, hit subscribe button, comment, stick down below, let's go. Oh, what's an explosion? Humans! Other human car! What the fuck is that? What an intro! What an introduction! What an introduction! My following lines, eh? That put that on some fucking TikTok. God damn. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That someone might do that.
Death is around the corner. Wigan, UK.
That
the man lurking
disturbing.
in the shadows wearing a hooded top is Michael Hillier, a drug dealer and disgruntled boyfriend. His partner, Rachel Fulstow, alleged that 38-year-old Liam Smith had raped her years ago after a Tinder date, and he'd become enraged and deeply motivated to retaliate against Smith. The camera clips you see were captured as he loitered around Liam's home. For 10 hours he was out there, in his car or lurking in the corners of the street, waiting until Liam Smith stepped out of his home. He shot Smith, then poured sulfuric acid on him while claiming to be carrying out vigilante justice. The 39-year-old Hillier
claiming to be carrying out vigilante justice. There's a reason people don't do vigilante justice. It ain't your fucking job to be doing vigilante justice. It ain't your job to be doing any of that. Also, if she claims he did that years ago, you don't find it weird that she's just saying that now? Like, my thought would be, because if he did it years ago, I wouldn't be worrying about it now. Just wouldn't.
Hillier and his girlfriend Rachel have been sentenced to life in prison for the murder.
Wait, go back?
Hillier and his girlfriend Rachel have been
Wait, why was the... Hold on, did the girlfriend plan it too? Was the girlfriend part of it? I thought the okay, I misunderstood. I thought the girlfriend was... just happened to bring up that, and then the boyfriend just took it into his own hands and wanted some vigilante justice. I wasn't aware that she knew more enough to be arrested for it. That's my bad. I thought she was innocent. No, it makes sense.
sentenced to life in prison for the murder.
Yep.
Moments before the bang, Houston, Texas. Watching the three people on screen, your first thought isn't about guns or even danger. The conversation almost looks civil, with Gabriel Garcia in all black looking very calm. The lady is the only indication that this isn't a very cordial conversation, and the lack of sound makes it a lot harder to understand what's happening. Here's the moment tension rises. Watch as Gabriel Garcia takes a step back, preparing himself for a confrontation. He wasn't alone. The lady reacts as well, and you wonder what was lurking off the camera frame. Matters escalate quickly, but the scary gun doesn't appear from where we'd imagined. It's Gabriel Garcia who whips out a gun, forcing others to hustle for cover. One person died and two more were injured in the shooting that occurred there. Gabriel Garcia turned himself...
What the fuck caused him to... So, this is one of those ones. I need all context. I need all forms of context on what is going on. Because there's a confrontation happening and I don't know who started it and what the confrontation's over. Then the big dude goes over him and starts to say some shit. And then he pulls a gun out and shoots some people. There's guilty people here. He's one of them. I just need to know the whole story before I can say if the other people are completely innocent. I don't think they did nothing to deserve to get shot. So, I'm about to say they're guilty that way, but you know, they might have escalated the situation more than they probably think.
Into police hours later.
Yeah.
The machete wielders.
What?
Western Australia.
Wielders? More than one machete wielder?
On the 30th of September,
There was a, where I live, there was a dude who was walking around downtown with a machete. And apparently swung at a vehicle with the machete. And when I heard this, I said, how the heck do people just start walking around with machetes? How do people just walk around with machetes? I misunderstand people. I don't understand how people just walk around with machetes. That just ain't, that's just insane.
2 robbers stormed the Hunter Valley Hotel. Like all robbers, they had a weapon with them, and their weapon of choice was the machete. There were 2 people at the bar.
I'm gonna be honest. The only reason they're okay is because there's 2 people at the bar. If there were more people at this bar, these 2 I feel would be at a disadvantage. If this bar was full, these 2 would be at a disadvantage. Because while a machete is a good weapon, if you don't know how to use it well, in a group of people, you will lose. That's just the way, that's just the truth of it, right? Like, if you don't know how to use it well, a group of people could take you down with it. These 2 just have an advantage because there's only 2 other people in the damn bar with... So, yeah, they ain't gonna fuck around.
And an employee of the hotel at the counter the moment the 2 men ran in, waving their machetes high above their heads. They ransacked the cash register and completely emptied it quickly. The most disturbing part of that robbery was the moment a patron was struck on the arm. He needed surgery to fix the damage done to him while...
Why would you strike someone? As long as they don't disrupt you, you have no reason to strike anyone. Fucking morons.
Police continued the hunt for the miscreants.
Oh, they didn't even catch those machete wielders. How do you not? I mean, trust me, there's gotta be some people be like in the area, be like, listen, I've seen some 2 guys. I know guys who own machetes. Not saying that, but you know, they're guilty, but you might want to check them out.
The rescue of a kidnapped woman. Kentucky, US. When neighbors heard a woman screaming for help from the 2nd floor of a building in Kentucky, local police responded immediately. What the officers found on scene will break your heart. On the scene, the police found the ground floor of the building completely barricaded.
We see a ladder.
Because all access to the homes was barricaded, the officers had to find a ladder to access the 2nd floor through that window.
Is anybody else in there? He did what?
There, they found a young lady with a dog collar wrapped around her neck and chained to the floor.
Oh, okay, that's who this was. Okay, so I just thought there's this weird person they found who just looked like it. No, this is a kidnapped woman who's chained to the floor. Okay. Yep, that's some next level shit right there. That's insane. That's lucky enough this woman I was able to get the window open and to scream for help. Because if not, I have a feeling she wouldn't have lasted long.
Her name is Jonna Wilson. She is 37 years old. She'd been in that position for over 5 hours before officers found and rescued her. Her boyfriend, Moises May, has been charged with kidnapping a...
Oh, tell me he don't look like a crazy man. Tell me this man don't look like a crazy man, and I'll tell you you're a liar. This is as crazy man as it gets right here. What the hell?
assault and other things. Officer-involved shooting, Colorado, US. On the 25th of July, a patrol officer named Nick Adams makes what should have been a harmless traffic stop, but nothing will go the way he expected on this day. The officer had noticed an SUV parked along the road facing the wrong direction. He approached and tried to engage the woman, but she refused to engage the policeman and wouldn't roll down her window. The lady is Alicia Durant, and when she finally agrees to put down her window, she still refused to answer any of Officer Adams' questions.
You're in the wrong lane. Are you okay?
I'd be suspicious. Yeah, that's disturbing, because you have a feeling now that I don't know if there's a shootout with the cop, or the fact that I saw this SUV and decided, nah, it's all like I'm just, and then you're the person, it's on.
Okay.
Are you okay, man? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Are you okay?
He asked several questions to ascertain what her problem was, but she wouldn't say a word.
Can you tell me what's going on? Why are you in the wrong lane? Can you tell me why you're in the wrong lane?
He had to radio his supervisor, explaining the situation.
Female that won't answer any questions. I think I'm in our turn lane to go into the shops if you want to start one of them.
This was the situation for a while. The officer was concerned and asked if she's okay or if she'd been drinking.
Have you been drinking or anything? It doesn't look like you've been drinking.
Everything changed the moment Durant reached for something in her middle console. You can see Officer Adams ask, "What have you got there?" His voice becomes agitated the moment he notices that the woman had a gun in the car. He grabs her hand, then rushes off to the back of the car, pointing his gun and firing off a shot at her.
What do you got in there? What do you got in there, man? What do you got in there? What do you got in there? Oh!
Officer Adams puts out a shots fired call on the radio and calls for backup.
225, shots fired, shots fired.
By the time the backup arrives on the scene, Durant is no longer breathing. A Jeep parked nearby had caught one of the bullets from Officer Adams' gun. He walks over to make sure the occupants are okay. It's only luck that his bullet hit the windshield alone but didn't touch anyone in the car. Officer Adams is deeply shaken by this event and can be heard crying and apologizing.
Oh my god, I'd be deeply offended. I'd be deeply shaken. I'm so bad, feel so bad. That cop did not ask for that. That cop did not want to be put in that position. He literally is sitting there just trying to see what's wrong with this woman. This woman clearly had some mental health issues. Clearly was not there. And I don't know what her plan was. But he did not want to be in that position. Now, I'm not saying. Now, I don't know. I'm going to assume. Not that what her issue was. I'm assuming he had the right. Like she pulled out a gun on him in the car. After not speaking for a while, I think he had the right to assume what the plan was. So I feel he had the right to shoot. I might be wrong with laws and maybe he did it, but I understand his situation and I do feel bad for him because he did not want to be in the position to take anybody's life.
Knife Man on rampage. Songnam, South Korea.
What?
A man who we can only describe as deeply disturbed has perpetrated one of the most disturbing crimes of the year. In early August, the young man in his 20s rammed his car into a sidewalk with people on it. He didn't pause or attempt to run afterwards. He simply jumped out of the car, brandishing a knife. Like clockwork, his hand went up, down, as he stabbed people with the knife. About 9 people suffered knife.
But what? This is a disturbed individual. I want to repeat what he said. So first he drove his car into a sidewalk with people on. Afterwards he got out of his car, brandishing a knife, and chased people down to stab them. That is the definition of a disturbed individual. That is the definition of a man who should not be in public. A man should be in jail for life. Even if he doesn't kill anyone, should be in jail for life.
Knife cuts from the stabbing, while 4 others suffered injuries from the impact of his vehicle, which he rammed into the sidewalk.
Hold on, I need to go back. I need to hear something.
Cuts from the stab down as he stabbed people with the knife. About 9 people suffered knife cuts from the stabbing, while 4 others suffered injuries from the impact of his vehicle, which he rammed into the sidewalk.
Okay, so you never say if anyone died. So I'm gonna hope no one did, but even then, sentence him to life. Never let him out. He's clearly disturbed.
The Unknown Arsonist, Indiana, U.S. An unknown man was caught on camera as he snuck into a U.S. jail in Indiana. Here's the unknown man walking into the jail casually with an accelerant in his hand. He poured the accelerant generously in the waiting area before setting fire to it. The flame went up and accelerated very quickly, covering the whole area in quick time. The perpetrator walked off as casually as he'd walked in, and no one has been able to identify him. So far, worse still, no one knows what his motives are.
That has to be, in all honesty, that has to be one of the coolest visuals I have ever seen, and one of the most disturbed. It is one of the most disturbed. It's cool for the casualness. This man did this like he's done this. Why is no one in this building? Is this building empty? Because of this building. Hey, I say you better shush. Very rude. That's what I thought you better shush. As I was saying, this is a jail, right? That's what I just heard was a jail. If it's a jail, why is there no one here? Why is there no one in the jail? Shouldn't someone be walking the jail? You can't tell me someone walking around dumping a bunch of stuff there and no one reacted. And I think the fire said it's still no one reacts behind the scene. How did this man even get this far? Is my question.
The Knife Wielder, London, UK.
Another knife wielder.
As a busy Victorian line service pulled out of a Brixton station in July, 2 teenagers got into a very dangerous knife fight.
What?
Look closely at the man on the screen. In his hand is a scary hunting knife with which he stabbed a young man of 16. Watch as he runs to escape the scene of his crime. The boy on the screen with the scary knife is 19-year-old Amarjay Nikmayang, who stabbed a boy in the side moments before this video was captured. As Amarjay ran, terrified passengers scampered for their lives, making sure to get out of his way as he and his friends ran through the coaches. He was later arrested at Stockwell Station and has since been sentenced to serve a jail term of over 6 years.
I don't know if that's a fair term. He stabbed someone in the side. I'm pretty sure his goal was not to just hurt them, but maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's man does not deserve. Man deserves to be in prison longer, in my opinion.
The creepiest predator, Burbank, US.
Excuse me?
Michelle Witter, a TikTok influencer who took a trip to a Barnes & Noble bookstore in Burbank as part of her commitment to her TikTok show, Solo Dates, where she attempts to show her followers some solo activities to take on when they might be feeling lonely. Things didn't go as she'd hoped. Instead, it went completely awry as she felt stalked and violated at the end of her solo date. Immediately as she arrived, a man started following her wherever she went. It got really weird when the man hunched down and slid close to her, almost sniffing her in the process. Here's a better look at the stalker who didn't just do this weird.
I'd turn around. If I was Saul, I swear I would drop kick the man. The woman would be standing there, he'd be near, and then she would see BAM! And then my body fall. And she'd turn around, and the man be in pain. And she'd be like, wow, but I ran and drop kicked him straight in the face. He was weird to you, and I just couldn't resist. I had to kick him. I just ran, I kicked him in the face. I might have say you a bit, I'm sorry, but I had to kick him in the face. He was just too weird. It just had to happen.
Dance with Michelle, but with another customer at the bookstore. When she confronted her stalker while he was crouched and asked, "What are you doing?" His response was, "Tying my shoes. What are you doing?"
You immediately said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And his reaction was?
He said, "Tying my shoe. What are you doing?" Which he wasn't. I mean, he was pretending to. His shoes were tied.
Arresting Takeshi 69,
What?
Florida, US. Daniel Hernandez, also known as Takeshi 69, was being arrested by Palm Beach County deputies because he missed a court date for a speeding ticket in Florida. He'd done 135 miles in a 65-mile-per-hour zone in...
Well, that's a hell of a speeding ticket. That's a fucking hell of a speed difference. I don't know how you messed that one up. Going 135 in a 65. I don't know how you messed that up. Unless you really stupid. That's just some next level mess up right there.
Missing that court date meant an active warrant for his arrest was issued. The sheriff deputies had seen an SUV without license plates and stopped the car for the traffic infraction, but when they ran the information Takeshi provided, they found more than just a traffic infraction.
License plate?
Registration.
Okay. But take this license plate.
Just give me the registration insurance.
Okay. Vehicle registration? No, the insurance should be here.
Do you have your license on you? I know.
I said no like 3 times.
Here's the moment the deputy asked Takeshi to step out of the car.
Step out of the car for me, sir.
He's immediately handcuffed. They explained the reason for his arrest as the cuffs are placed on him.
Warrant for what?
Spread your legs for me. Got a traffic warrant.
So you take me to jail for a traffic warrant?
Yes, sir.
You up here, bro. You didn't show up to court.
I didn't know that. When? For what though?
But I guess you received a ticket or something that you didn't pay.
I never received a ticket. Step forward, buddy.
Here's the moment huge wads of cash are removed from his pocket.
You want to give it to Y'all give that to Yailin? Just say.
God damn! My man shouldn't be carrying money like that. You can't be carrying money like that. I don't care what you're a celebrity, how tough you think you are, how badass you think you are. You shouldn't be carrying money like that. That just could go wrong.
Go back home. Okay. Yo, tell my brother, where am I going?
Takeshi couldn't believe he was arrested for something this minor. He'd had an interesting conversation about it all with the cops as they rode to the station. Death in the house.
Can I just say, I don't know how I'd feel if a cop knew who he was and had to arrest him. I'm not saying they would have set him free. I'm just saying I wonder how you would feel. Imagine you reckon you're police and you have to arrest a celebrity that you know. That must be so weirdly awkward.
Pennsylvania, US. Looking at the aftermath, your first question would be what happened here?
I'll say.
There are answers. So far, there are more questions than those. Listen to the trebling sound.
Holy shit! Did a bomb go off? Did a bomb go off in that house? Oh my god, what an explosion! Oh my fucking god, what an explosion. I'd hate to be these guys. You know, the ones in the house nearby. Oh my god, I'd be terrified. I'd be shitting my boots. I'd look at the window, bam, the explosion happened now. Running out the back window, I'm jumping my distance, I'll die before I die, but now, not happening.
The fire going high into the atmosphere and the effect that the explosion has on the houses in the neighborhood as debris began to fly and doors are shaken at their hinges. That loud bang was heard all over Plum, Pennsylvania, and had people wondering what had gone wrong. The home where the explosion took place wasn't the only one affected. 3 houses down the street were leveled and many more houses may have to have been destroyed due to structural damage caused by the explosion. A father and son were killed in their home across the street by the explosion, and their smiles, which neighbors and relatives speak of, is silenced forever. The death toll is currently 5 people, including the father and the son. Firefighters heard bullets exploding in the wreckage, but that wasn't the cause of the explosion. Many of the homes in the affected street are built over an abandoned mine, where there's an active gas well not so far away. The question now is, why was this allowed to happen? Residents in the neighborhood also wonder if other houses in the area are in danger of the same.
I'd say yeah, I'd say all houses in this neighborhood are in danger of that happening. That is terrifying. That at any moment, the blink of an eye, explosion can happen. You don't think twice on it, you could just be minding your own business, building could explode. That is fucking terrifying. That is absolutely fucking terrifying.
CBD explosion, Johannesburg, South Africa. Here's the moment a CBD explosion left
Holy
a gaping hole in the
shit.
middle of the
Oh
road.
my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's the vehicles that fucking scared me.
Johannesburg, South Africa.
Look at this
Here's
guy. This guy is standing here, right? This guy in the white shirt here, he's just standing, minding his own business. Then I don't know what, bam! And the fucking vehicles go flying, jump off the ground. He has to avoid, just avoid being crushed by this car. Oh my god, that's terrifying. That is terrifying.
In the middle of the road and sent people scampering for safety. Cars are practically thrown into the air like they were Tic Tacs as the explosion rocked
that is so insane.
People panicked and ran for dear life while vehicles lay unnaturally on their backs or sides from the explosion, which literally pulled the asphalt out from under them. Watch the man in the red hoodie quickly close up his business as he ran for safety.
Oh my god! He's like, hold on, close it down. You ain't robbing me still. Okay, go.
One person died while several others were injured in an explosion whose cause is yet to be fully ascertained. Drunken teacher, Oklahoma, US.
Drunken teacher?
Class teachers aren't just about imparting knowledge. They also act as a role model for the kids they teach. Kimberly Coates, an Oklahoma school teacher, showed up to class on the first day of elementary school, drunk. If you haven't seen a teacher being summoned to the principal's office just like those badly behaved kids, here you go.
So, just observing you in classroom, it looks like something's off a little bit. And so I've asked Officer Dean to come in here and visit with you. Have you taken anything that's, do you have a prescription for anything that maybe you have taken today that just seems like you're not the same person that I talked to this morning?
The management invited a cop to sit in as they questioned the teacher about what she may have taken. At first, she said she hadn't taken anything. Then she lied about having taken an anxiety medication.
You haven't taken anything while you were at school?
No.
Have you taken any sort of medication today?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you taken any medication today?
I did take some medication this morning for my anxiety.
Is it a prescription? Because you changed your story a little bit. Now
Yeah,
you
you
said
said
you
it was
took...
last night.
Yeah.
Well, I took one last night and then I took one this morning because my anxiety was really, like, bad.
Here she finally admits to drinking, but she says it was last night and not while she was in school.
Did you drink something while you were here at school?
Not while I was at school.
When did you drink something?
Last night. I wouldn't bring it into the school.
That is just, I don't know, because a teacher's allowed to live their life, right? So if it's true she did drink something, I can't say she should be judged for drinking the night before, because that's just, you know, it's just life. People drink. The part that's disturbing to me is that she drank at school. Because then you don't deserve to have a job and you should be fired. And if you're unable to do your job because of the fact, then yeah, you need to be fired.
Are you gonna blow double zeros?
I don't know.
You should know. If you hadn't drank anything, you should blow zeros. If you drank something recently, it's gonna show it.
A breathalyzer was administered to her and she nearly blew the pins off the thing with the alcohol in her system 2 times the legal limit.
Oh my god, 1 point, because the legal alcohol is 0.08, or 0, yeah, something like that, so it'd be like 1.6, right?
Blow, 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 blow. Alright, so you blew 2 times the legal limit.
I did?
Yeah.
That's a Diet Coke.
So the question is, did she drink then show up to school? And if she does, should be fired. Or was she drinking at the fucking school? Was she just teaching the kids, drinking some freaking alcohol? What the hell?
Is there anything liquor in it?
Nope.
What grade does she teach? I need to know now. I have so many questions. What grade did she teach?
So if I go into the classroom, am I going to find anything else?
This confirms that she'd had a large amount of alcohol in her system and it couldn't have been residue from her drinking the night before. She drank something that morning.
You gonna tell me the truth? How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
There's no way you drank last night.
Well, I did drink last night.
A field sobriety test was administered as well and it said the same. She was intoxicated.
You drank recently. Yeah, she's intoxicated.
I see.
They needed someone to pick her up and she'd be arrested for a DUI if she got behind the wheels of a car.
Do you have anybody that's there that can come pick you up?
My husband's he's still at school working. I don't want you to call him.
Well, I can't let you leave. If you leave, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, I'm gonna arrest you for DUI.
So I need somebody to come pick you up.
Kill.
Her options were limited. She might have been facing the termination of her employment or the more honorable route of resignation.
So what happens? So what happens then, Mr. Ogle?
Well, my recommendation to the board is going to be to terminate you because you're under the influence. Or you can resign.
Because this isn't a scenario where like, hey, she got drunk last night, we need to terminate. This is you're drunk at your job, you need to be terminated. This is the most justified. You should. I have never had questions where I need answers. I need to know what grade she was teaching. I want to imagine the kids and what age they are, but I don't know. I'm going to assume it's a public school, but I don't know for sure.
These options were spelled out to her at the meeting. Facing these options, Coates opened up and said, "I drank on the way to work."
What?
We think that you drank today. Not 3 a.m. We think that you've drank since you've been at school. And I don't believe you're being honest with us.
Okay, I drank on the way to work.
Yeah. I'm glad that you told us that. Okay? We'll still discuss tomorrow.
I went to work here. I went to work here.
The plastic container she'd used to take her drink was found and brought into the room. She remained adamant that the container only had juice in it and not alcohol.
Okay, no more games, right? Yeah. Other than that.
My juice?
After a good smell, the officer sniffed the cup and said, "Wanna try again?"
Gonna try again?
In the end, due to all her lies, she was arrested and taken to the station despite her plea.
She just kept lying. She just tried everything. I love that he just stuck one step ahead. You wanna try again? I'm gonna let you try that one more time. That's what he said to her, and she still lied. So like, okay, we're taking you to jail.
Pleas and tears.
Officer, please.
Quit! I'm done. I tried to be nice. I'm done.
Okay.
She was taken round the back to keep the kids from seeing their teacher paraded in handcuffs.
You know what? You should just let him say it. Like, look, listen. They have to go teach the kids some lessons. Listen, the kids need to be taught what happens when you do stupid things. This is the next level. Nah, I want to see it. I want to see it. I'll be like, what happened to the teacher? I know, because you know. How you gonna explain to the kids why their teacher never returned? The teacher that left was taken out of class and never showed up and has not returned to the show, to the thing. How are you gonna explain? Who taught the rest of the day then? And how are you gonna explain where the teacher went? Where are you gonna say the teacher happened to the teacher? At this point, see, it depends on the age, right? If they're really young kids, they might not watch. If you were like the age of me, like grade 4, 5, something like that, oh, I'd be my ass knows when something's up. I know when something's going on.
Hey, Spencer, if I write a ticket, can you run it back up there here in a little bit you were doing?
Yeah, that district.
Oh, you want me to do it district?
District.
Okay. Never mind, I'm going to do it district.
Wild bison and tourist. Wyoming, U.S.
What?
In June, a tourist at the
Oh my God,
Yellowstone
the
National
bison!
Park in Wyoming
Oh
had
my
one
God, the
moment that
bison!
could have been catastrophic.
Look at this! Look at this! Don't you go pet no bison! It's not a bison, go get your ass! You gonna get got!
She'd had her hand stretched like she wanted to pet the bison when the wild animal suddenly reacted, turning and aiming to hit the
Bam!
her with its horns.
Get your
The woman
fucking
turned
ass
and
away from
ran
me!
quickly, putting distance between herself and the menacing animal. She tripped while running, but thankfully the animal wasn't interested in further action. Here's another tourist coming dangerously close to a bison at the park. To put it in perspective, these heavily built creatures can weigh up to 2,000 pounds and...
Listen, this bisons don't want to be disturbed. Don't you be taking selfies near a bison. Don't you be coming near this bison. A bison wants you to go away. Go away, leave the bison alone.
Run 35 miles an hour. To be safe, you must always stay 75 feet away from bisons
You
for
better
safety.
we stay away from them bisons.
The Smash and Grab, Florida, U.S. CCTV camera caught a thief breaking into a car and grabbing an envelope before slithering off into the shadows from which he'd emerged. The thief is quick, breaking in and picking out the envelope from the glove compartment all in the span of 30 seconds. What do you think he'll find in it? The owner of the car had just taken out $14,000 in cash from a nearby bank, and that envelope the thief just made off with has all of it inside.
That guy used like a punch device to use in the corner of the car, and then all the glass shattered, and then broke everything. I saw a guy.
How did he know that had the money in it? It's just an envelope. It could have had receipts. It could have had fucking just random paperwork. Someone's divorce papers, something like that. It could have anything in it. How did he know it had the money in it?
By the ATM machine, and then I went to my car, and then I pulled the money, I was carrying my hand, in the glove compartment.
This suggests that the victim was targeted specifically.
Okay, so he was watching him and saw him put the money, take the money out, put it in the thing, and bring it to the... Okay, he saw. Okay.
Watch the thief slink away in his car, a Land Rover which he backs out to avoid cameras capturing his tag number.
I saw the broken window, from the door, and then I ran to see what's going on, and I see the glove compartment.
This is the interior of the car after the break-in, but it's something the thief does just before he breaks into the car that catches the eyes here. He retrieves something from the underside of the car. The victim believed that it may be a GPS tracker, as he believes he'd been targeted and tracked.
Look like he's reaching right here. I believe that kind of GPS device. He was tracking me all the time.
The flying car.
It couldn't be a unless unless you have a specific job that entails you take out that money. Why specifically would he know you're gonna take out that much money?
St. Louis, Missouri, U.S. This is one of the scariest moments of the year.
Holy
shit! A car
shit!
flying through the air is a
Holy
rare
sh-
sight. No, that's not the end.
Oh God! wants this? It's so out of nowhere. You just fly down. He's like, oh, look at the. Look at it go. Look at the car. It went fucking flying.
Moments
of
the year.
Oh god, flying is that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. That is actually one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Car flying through the air is a rare sight.
Nope. I can just imagine you sitting in the lounge, just see the car just flies in. Fucking out of nowhere. You go to the toilet, you come out of the bathroom, there's just a car in your place, you're fucking terrified, wondering where the hell it came from. You just lost the footage there and it flies out of fucking nowhere into your place.
Oh, that's not the alien ship arriving to colonize Earth, and it isn't a new innovation in technology. It's a reckless driver going over 100 miles per hour. He lost control and went flying into the air.
That is
insane. He clipped the stairs of one house and slammed through the front of another before landing on the head.
That is insane looking. That is fucking insane.
This terrifying moment was captured on the doorbell camera of a nearby home. Thinking of the danger this accident posed for the family living in those homes makes the heart race. But fortunately, no one else was hurt in the crash except the driver.
He deserved to be hurt. I'm sorry, you went 100 miles per hour in the freaking street like that. You somewhat deserve for that to happen to you.
The case of Drew Barrymore, New York, US. The American actress Drew Barrymore had to be escorted quickly off the stage while speaking at an event in New York. She was on stage having a conversation with singer Renee Rapp when a man from the audience rudely interrupted. He said, "I'm Chad Michael Busto. You know who I am. I need to see you at some point while I'm here in New York."
Chad Michael Busto, you know who I am. I need to see you at some point while I'm here in New York.
You can see the fear on Barrymore's face. She was visibly terrified. Renee Rapp reacted quicker than the security. She was up on her feet immediately, leading Barrymore off the stage as security swung into action. They restarted the event when tension was cleared off the air. Drew Barrymore was soon joking about how protective Renee Rapp got.
I have a new definition of your sexiness. It's that level of protectiveness that went full bodyguard.
Carjacking, Markham, UK. This might well be the sleekest carjacking in the history of carjacking. It was 12:30 a.m. on the 23rd of August when a dark-colored vehicle lightly hit a grey Mercedes AMG sedan. The driver of the Mercedes stepped out of his vehicle to inspect possible damage, but was instead confronted by two men, both in ski masks with one of them wielding a baton. They led him to the side, took his keys, and drove off with his car, leaving him confused and dejected. Police believe this to be the same carjackers who have stolen 2 other cars within the last week using the same tactic.
I'm sorry.
It's scary.
That is the slickest carjacking I have ever seen. I have never seen a carjacking done so easily in my life. You don't understand how hard you would be fighting even for your baton. I will take my beating before you take my car. I am making you work for any crime you want to commit on me.
Hey, how easy they had it, and worse still, their victim could be anyone. Ugly stealing, Atlanta, US. If the last carjacking was sleek, this one's simply disturbing for how brazen it was. There was a cop car parked just across the street from the scene of this brazen crime. Everything you see was captured by the dash cam of the police vehicle. The perpetrator, Andrew Williams.
Wait a minute, you're telling me this man did a carjacking right in front of a fucking cop and never thought twice of how shitty of an idea that is? You're telling me this guy literally carjacked someone or stole from someone and never once in his mind thought that the cop, the police officer, the police car that's right there would not do something?
Could be seen attempting to steal a white vehicle, but the owner drove off quickly. Andrew picked out his gun and fired some shots at the vehicle before taking off in the opposite direction. The sound of gunshots alerted the cops, who swung into action immediately. They chased Williams down and arrested him after he jumped over a fence and into a family's backyard. Williams dumped the gun and the officers couldn't find it. That notwithstanding, he was slammed with several charges including aggravated assault, possession of firearm, and hijacking.
That is the dumbest man. That is one of the dumbest criminals I have seen. That was the dumbness starts when you commit the crime where there's a police clearly visible. But the fact they weren't realizing it until shots were fired says something.
Jacking a motor vehicle, among others. Flash mob at Riverside, California, US. This is a July 10th security video from the Nordstrom store in Riverside, California. It all looks pretty harmless at first. It's only shoppers coming into a Nordstrom store to make their usual purchases, but that's hardly true this day. What might have appeared harmless at first suddenly devolves into something far more disturbing. These seemingly harmless people begin to steal products from the store. Not one, not two, but a whole flash mob, simply picking valuables off the rack as quickly as they could. They had specific targets, designer handbags, and you can see each person grabbing as much as possible. The goods carted away from the store amounts to several—
I don't even mean to be this guy, but why the hell have the odds that all of these people are black? Why are all of you, why is all the flash mob of black people just coming in to steal some shit? Y'all y'all need to stop this. Y'all giving yourselves better names than you already need. I have to point out, because I've seen flash mobs of group of people, but usually it's mixed, and it still might be, but all the cameras capture are all bunch of black people. I'm a man that has to point. I say what goes in my mind comes out of my mouth. I have to say it because it's just how I am, and I just don't get it here.
$1,000. Wash their hands as they leave the place. Robbing a dispensary, Michigan, U.S. This robbery occurred at the Sherwood—
A dispensary is where money is, right? Am I dumb? Yeah, right? Where money's held is the dispensary. I think. I could be wrong.
Dispensary in Warren, Michigan. The three robbers arrived on scene and set off a car alarm.
Oh my god, hold on. Look at no, go
Robbery
back.
occurred at the Sherwood Dispensary in Warren, Michigan. The three
Look at this one guy. Look at the guy on the left here. Look at this guy's big grin on his face as he is being arrested. The other two, one's like serious and concerned. This one guy on the left is just beaming with joy.
Robbers arrived on scene and set off a car alarm, which forced the security guard on scene to open the door, eager to see what the issue was. When he got sight of the hooded man hiding in the corner, he shut the door quickly, but the hooded man wasn't having any of it. He shoots his way through. One of his errant bullets catches the guard. They got in, stored the dispensary safe, and ran out as quickly as they went. Police were able to identify the three robbers. 62-year-old Rodney Robinson, 63-year-old Laver Parkins, and 48-year-old Rodney Graham made up the—
I can't go with this one guy's mugshot. The guy on the left's mugshot. I can't understand. Why is he so happy? He is so happy right now.
crew. One of these men is a delivery driver for the dispensary, which makes this an inside job.
Ah, okay.
Good news, the security guard survived.
Thank God.
Theft in the car, Houston, US. The video shows more than just an attempted robbery. It also shows how patient crooks can be in the pursuit of their evil agenda. The victim, Cameron, had gone to the Chase Bank on West Road when the thieves began to follow him. This is the first time we catch a glimpse of them on the dash cam as they tailed him patiently. They followed him through multiple locations until they found the perfect spot to strike. Cameron had parked and left his car when they broke in through the window and quickly searched the vehicle. It's obvious that they were looking for something specific, as they didn't just grab anything in sight when he searched inside quickly for the bank pouch of the Chase Bank. It felt wonderful to watch this thief find the pouch that he was after, only to discover that it was empty. Watch the disappointment on his face as he comes up short on this one.
What a trail the man for no damn reason. Oh boy.
Rideshare driver mugged, Houston, US. The driver of this vehicle had just dropped someone off in southwest Houston when several armed men approached and asked him to hand over any cash on his person. They didn't stop there. They went into the car rummaging for anything of value. From the glove compartment to the trunk, they made away with valuables that include the driver's wallet. Watch closely to see the 6 men, all of whom are wearing dark clothing. They took off on foot afterwards and police—
Is this supposed to be each man? This looks literally like the same 2 people. Look at the 6 men. This is literally the same person. These are the same. This is the same person. These are these 4 are the same. These are not 6 people. Look at these 6 people. These are the same people.
Closely to see the 6 men, all of whom are wearing dark clothing.
It's the same
people! They took off
people!
on foot afterwards and police are yet to learn the identities of these men. Daring officers save a life, Maryland, US.
Okay.
The heroics of officers Corey Field and Brian Nesbitt is the stuff of legend. While on patrol in Silver Spring, Maryland, they came upon a burning vehicle with the driver trapped inside. The driver was unconscious and unable to get himself to safety when these officers came upon the scene. Waiting for rescue to arrive on the scene would have meant death for the driver, and the officers knew this. Officer Fields rushed head-on and his partner followed suit.
Give it up for the cojones on these officers. There's some officers who are sketch that would not have done this. These two were like, nope, gotta go into action. Don't care, risk it. Gotta go into action to try to save this dude. Knew immediately, they didn't hesitate for 1 second.
They broke the passenger side window and pulled the driver out. The fire was spreading fast as they got the driver out, and you can see one of them fall over as they pulled Israel to the back of the car, away from the fire. They didn't just stop there. They immediately began to administer first aid before the EMTs arrived on the scene.
Give it up for these officers. Those are good officers right there. They didn't hesitate. Wait a second. They risked their own lives to just to save that one. They made it on CPR immediately when they got away from the car. Good freaking job on them.
Fast and Furious, Kid Edition, Chicago, US.
What?
In August, police chased a 17-year-old in a stolen car. For 18 whole minutes, they chased the teenage boy as he tried to escape doing speeds of about 132 miles per hour.
Right lane approaching Higgins.
This is dangerous for the kid himself, because if you mistake, you're a 17-year-old, you probably don't know how to drive backwards. If you fuck up.
Speeds 130, light traffic.
He almost managed to escape as the cops had to stop at one point to ask if anyone knew where the car went.
Where'd that car go?
Alright, now let's light it up and get into the area.
Down that way? Okay. Hey, Victor 1, he said he took a left turn. He went south by the tracks here.
Doing speeds like that means one thing. A crash is coming. And when it did, the young thief jumped out and tried to get away on foot. The cops caught him and now he's being charged with multiple felonies and misdemeanors.
Absolutely, he's being charged with multiple felonies. Dipshit kid stole the car and got caught. Driving 130 miles per hour, that's already laws, and you're trying to risk safety of a bunch of people, so yeah, you won't get caught.
Fire in stolen car, Wisconsin, US. On August 18, police chases a Kia vehicle suspected to have been stolen by teens driving it. The driver's a 14-year-old, while the two passengers were all just 15 years old.
Lining up, it's going northbound. In pursuit, east on Orchard.
Things became more disturbing as the chase went on. At one time, the Kia nearly hit another car, and you could hear the worried voice of an officer as he watched the sight unfolding.
We're gonna go south on 60. Miss Alice in pursuit of a stolen red Kia. South on 60.
A few times, the police almost ran into oncoming traffic at intersections.
Coming up to Lincoln here, it's passing on the left. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. It's getting here. Get here.
The Kia is beginning to smoke at this point, and the officer mentions it a few times as he relays information through his police radio.
Going through a construction zone here on the Kinnickinnick, east on Kinnickinnick.
The fire is pretty obvious under the Kia now, but the driver's still going, but not for long. The teenagers are soon forced to stop due to the fire. As they try to run off on foot, the police arrest them all.
Lots of flames underneath the vehicle.
My man they overdid it. They took the car beyond its limits and it set fire because of it. Ah, boy, that's what happens.
The scary magic of tornadoes. Rhode Island, US. Tornadoes are as scary as they can be magical. The gathering of whirlwinds reaching from the ground to connect with the clouds, then traveling, tearing everything on its path. Houses, trees, cars, and just about everything else. This Tesla driver captures a magical moment when the tornado was both beautiful and terrifying in all of its elements.
Oh my god!
It was captured as the twister flipped and twirled onto the other side of the road. While it looked like a pretty sight, the driver of the vehicle confessed that he could feel his car come slightly off the ground, and worse still, he saw another car lifted off the ground by the same dainty-looking wind.
I just see like this.
That would be fucking terrifying. That would cause my heart to... I'd have a panic attack and try to be driving with a panic attack. It's a one more.
Tree branch suspended like 50 feet in the air. I was like, oh, that's really out of place.
It was only the beginning of what was going to be a very scary day. Eyewitnesses say the tornado picked up another vehicle, spun it around in the air before dropping it back down to the earth.
Picked up, and they said 200 plus feet, like it tossed her around.
And it picked her car up and it spun her around like that. And then it just dropped it back down.
Here's the car the tornado had tossed a few hundred feet. The damage is extensive, but no life was lost.
Thank God.
The Ojai earthquake, California, US. In August, California experienced an earthquake measuring a magnitude of 5.
Wait a minute! Why is there a guy? Hold on!
In August.
Why is this guy? Why is there a guy with his head in there? Did he get stuck, or is he just screaming into the void of earthquakiness? Why are you screaming? Why is his head in there for?
California experienced an earthquake measuring a magnitude of 5.1. The video shows the impact of the earthquake as it hits California.
Oh my god, the
earth
truck
shook
jumped.
visibly and the sound of the destructive powers of the earthquake could be heard. The video captured from the door cam of a home in Oxnard shows the earthquake's impact clearly. Cars, bins, and the asphalt itself shook heavily.
Oh my god, that would fucking terrify me to be there. Oh my god, oh my god.
Here's the impact felt inside a restaurant with everything rattling noisily and people grabbing onto any solid surface for safety. The father of three, Norton, England. On the 8th of June of 2023, 30-year-old Aaron Dunlop spent over 3 hours drinking pint after pint of God knows what at the George and Dragon pub in Norton. He'd arrived at the pub in an Audi at 6:30 p.m, and while he'd left temporarily at some point, he was back at it, drinking again until 9:30 p.m. With that large amount of alcohol in his system, Aaron got into the driver's seat of his Audi and drove off along A1027 in Norton Teesside at a very high speed. At that same hour, Paul Greenfield, a hard-working father of three, was heading home from work in his Honda 125 motorbike on the same road as drunk Aaron. What happened next is inevitable. Aaron hit Paul's bike and knocked the older man to his death. Did he stop to help? No. He sped off and headed to the airport immediately, hoping to escape the long arm of the law. He was caught, charged, and sentenced to 12 years in prison.
That's not enough. He should be sentenced longer, in my opinion, but you know, I'm not the one that decides the fate of the law. There's a reason the justice system works, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this reaction video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all for the next one.